Greetings, lunatics! I'm Rav3n Mad, aka the Raving Lunatic. And as you may have already noticed from the title of this video, I'm not going to be talking about My Little Pony. Instead, I'm going to be talking about My Hero Academia, which is a superhero manga series that centers around 15-year-old Izuku Midoriya and his friends and classmates of UA Academy learning to control and master their superpowers, or as they're referred to in the series, quirks, and become professional heroes and take down the League of Villains. So if you haven't seen this series yet, then I suggest you pause the video and go check it out. But for those of you that have seen it, I'm gonna start running my mouth off now in my first ever Plus Ultra Babble. It's no secret that at the start of the series, Uraraka was going to be the best friend and love interest to Izuku Midoriya, and that most of their interactions with each other was gonna be full of moments like this.
You know what? I like Deku. It could make a great hero name. Plus, I think it sounds kinda cute.
Deku it is! Just like that?
But you know what is a secret? Who in their circle of friends knows that Uraraka has a crush on Midoriya? Well, I think I have a pretty good idea who it is. For the purpose of this video, I'm only going to be focusing on Class 1A because I'm already grasping at straws as it is than if I include the teachers, villains, and other students in my research. So let's start off by eliminating the people we know aren't aware of Uraraka's crush or just don't care if she has one or not. There's Bakugo, Tokoyami, Todoroki, Sato, Ojiro, Shoji, Koda, Kirishima, Mineta, Kaminari, and Ida. 11 down, 7 more to go. Now Sero, I wouldn't say knows about Uraraka's crush, but he does know that her and Midoriya are really good friends with one another, which he stated during the licensing exam, but other than that, he doesn't know much about their friendship, much less whether or not they like each other, so he's out too. 6 more to go. Now this is where things get tricky. Out of all the guys in Class 1A, Aoyama is the only one that has ever hinted at possibly knowing that Uraraka likes Midoriya, going so far as to flat out ask her,
Is it because you like him?
Now it's unclear as to how he came to that conclusion since Midoriya was never mentioned in their battle against 13, and the only time he's ever seen Uraraka act so concerned about him was during the quirk assessment test. But I guess you could argue that he was just teasing her since afterwards he never brought up the question again in both the manga or the show. However, it seems rather unlikely that he would intentionally risk their chances of passing the test given how poorly he did in the midterms. Not to mention that his guess was too accurate for it to just be a way for him and Uraraka to win against 13. So to me, this is the only person I can't definitively say does or doesn't know about Uraraka's crush, since it feels like an attempt by the writer to mess with the audience than it feels like a legitimate person that knows her secret. Hopefully we can get more details when the next chapter of the manga comes out. Until then, let's move on to the girls of Class 1A. Now, it's pretty obvious that after episode 15 of Season 3, all of the girls know that Uraraka has a crush on someone. However, it still remains a mystery to them. So rather than trying to find out who knows about Uraraka's crush, we now have to figure out which one of them probably knows it's Midoriya. Right off the bat, we can cross off Jiro, Hagakure, and Yaoyorozu since Jiro has had next to no screen time with Uraraka to know much about her or the extent of her friendship with Midoriya. In fact, she pretty much just hopped on the bandwagon when the girls were teasing Uraraka for answers. So it's not like she actually has an idea of who it could be, which is why I say she's out. As for Hagakure, while she did show some interest in knowing whether or not it was Ida or Midoriya, she was quick to ask if it might be someone else, which kind of shows that she's just as clueless as the others when they were trying to get her to talk. In addition, it also shows that like Jiro, she too doesn't grasp the full extent of Uraraka and Midoriya's friendship, all of which would probably make it seem pretty obvious that it's Midoriya if they were more observant of the two. So let's pin an X right about here. Now Yaoyorozu, she may be intelligent and the most level-headed one in the class, however, it's because of this that she wouldn't know whether or not Uraraka has a crush on Midoriya. She's not one to jump to conclusions like the others are, nor is she the kind of person that would find such topics worth discussing, as shown by her dismissiveness towards the conversation, so -1 more. And now we're only left with 2 options, Mina Ashido and Tsuyu Asui, which makes sense given that these two have had the most screen time with Uraraka than any of the other girls have, and they each have a pretty good relationship with her to the point of almost being inseparable. In some instances, Mina can be seen hanging out with Uraraka and Hagakure due to them being the most energetic heroes in the entire group, and the ones to start most of the dialogue and group antics. She's also the most boy-crazy out of the girls, going so far as to call Todoroki the most handsome boy in school. However, despite these facts, only one of these two girls has formed a more personal connection with Uraraka in the series, and has shared both her high and low points with her to where the two are always by each other's side. Heck, they both even shared an internship under Ryuko in the manga. Tsuyu Ashuri is the one I believe knows that Uraraka likes Midoriya, and here's why. Throughout the series, there have been a few moments where Uraraka's feelings for Deku have come up with Tsu being present during most of their reveal. In the sports festival, she was not only one of the 4 friends that went to see Deku after his fight with Todoroki, but she could visibly see that Uraraka was concerned about him afterwards, even going so far as to agree with Mineta to try and cheer her up. While not the best example, you can still argue that she can clearly see that Uraraka has some strong concerns for Midoriya, which I think this next example completely supports if she was given the full picture. During Uraraka and Aoyama's practical exam against 13, Tsu was able to see that Uraraka lost focus during the match and that it was most likely due to something Aoyama said. What exactly it was is still a mystery to her, but we can tell that Tsu knows that it was something significant given the reaction she had to her question.
Ah, it was nothing! You got it all wrong!
What's the matter with you?
At this rate, you're probably thinking I'm grasping at really thin straws to try and make my point. But I assure you that all of these points have a connection. See, after the girls found out about Uraraka's crush and continued to pressure her into telling, Tsu was the first, or rather the only one to try and change the subject before Yaoyorozu stepped in, which was most likely because she already knew the answer given the previous moments she's had with Uraraka. Not to mention that Tsu is no stranger when it comes to witnessing moments of love, like in the summer class with Mr. Aizawa and when they met Miss Joke at the licensing exam. But given how well connected she is to both Midoriya and Uraraka, it's pretty reasonable to believe that she would be capable of putting the pieces together and coming to the conclusion that she's in love with him. Of course, she could have just been trying to help a friend out of an awkward situation. What do you guys think? Does Tsu know about Uraraka's crush, or is she just as puzzled as everyone else is? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I'm Rav3n Mad, and this has been a Plus Ultra Babble. Catch you later.